We're going to go inside HL Pro Tools and we're going to show one of the best kept secrets inside of HL Pro Tools that comes with every base program, and that is the theme builder. And today I brought in a special guest straight from HL Pro Tools that's going to show us how to use it and all the little tips and secrets that he has that goes along with building a very customized look and feel inside of your HighLevel. All right, so here we are. I have Phil. Phil's a good friend of mine. He has been with HL Pro Tools for quite some time. He's actually the person responsible for handling all the customer services with all the agency. And what's even more exciting is the reason he's probably so good at what his job is because he's an agency owner himself. And Bill, I kind of don't want to take away anything else that, you kind of want to mention about some of your background.
Yeah, I've just been in the marketing space for 15 years, a lot of video production, audio production. I've been an audio engineer, recording engineer, got into marketing through that, did a lot of website stuff. So kind of just been in the industry, kind of half in, half out for a long time now. Got into HighLevel maybe 3.5 years ago or so and just loved it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hard. Anybody in the marketing space that kind of gets into HighLevel automatically realizes it's like a really good place to be, right?
Yeah, it felt really comfortable for sure. It's like if you have an idea, you can figure out how to solve it with the tool. It's just so fun.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So today, I know I've been begging for this. We've been trying to get a little deeper with HL Pro Tools. As mentioned before in some of our other videos, when it comes to HL Pro Tools, is we're big fans. We've been in HighLevel for 5 years. We've been with Matt and HL Pro Tools for about 4 years, and we've been getting really deep into a lot of the functionality and things that HL Pro Tools does. And again, we're an affiliate. We love promoting HL Pro Tools. We recommend it to anybody that we build systems for. And honestly, it's changed our business model quite a bit because there's no way that I could support the 200 plus something people that are in my own sub accounts now. And it just becomes a really good partnership to have. And I've been fortunate enough to really engage with the entire team. Like I said, Phil's a good friend of mine. And today I've been begging them to come in here and show what I think is one of the best kept secrets, because I don't think you guys advertise it. It kind of just comes with every single package. And nobody realizes that it's like, if you get HL Pro Tools, this is one of the features that comes along with any size package you get. And I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed on what this thing can do. And it's a lot of fun too. So Phil, I don't want to steal the thunder. I think this is something that everybody came to do. So can you explain what the theme builder is and why should we use it and why is it important?
Yeah, for sure. So, you white label your HighLevel under your agency. It's your brand, it's your software. So the theme builder is a tool we put together and have been consistently leveling it up on a regular basis with more and more features for quite some time now. The little interface, it just comes with our widget. It's not even a separate code. It's just part of our normal widget code. So when you have your help library and the widget that you install, that's our tool. It also comes with that. And it just totally allows you, I think we have maybe 8 or 9 kind of preset themes that you can choose from the beginning. And then once you choose the theme, you can customize pretty much everything there is to be customized from a CSS perspective of the HighLevel platform. And so we just really laid that out and made that super easy for you to do. And then there's even some kind of like additional advanced features that we can talk about as well. But the basics of it here is just totally allows you to design from the colors of the sidebar and if the navigation's on the left or the top, or you can really make it not look like HighLevel, right? And so it makes it harder for your clients to, oh, this is HighLevel, and then leave your agency. It's just another tool that helps make your SaaS that much more sticky.
Yeah, well. And a good point of it bringing is a lot of people know that once they're in there and they start navigating, they realize it's HighLevel. But there are a lot of the bigger players that have really a good amount of people in there. Even though they kind of advertise that it's HighLevel, they have like no hidden powers about it. They do want a different experience based on the clients they serve. So it does customize that experience to make the customer feel like they're in the right software for their particular niche, for their particular product, their particular partnership, whatever it is. So I don't want to hold back because this is going to be a pretty cool video. You guys are going to be really impressed with this. So Phil, I'm going to let you drive and I'm just going to kind of stay quiet here.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the first things you'll do when you sign up for one of our subscription tiers is you'll get an embed code. It's just some JavaScript that you just put right in here under your, agency settings, company, custom JavaScript. And then once you update your company, this only works on your white label domain. So that's one of the little tips there right out the beginning. Make sure you're not on the app.GoHighLevel, you're on your app.yourdomain.com version. Then once you refresh, you'll see the theme builder is now here by your profile. Once you click the theme builder, you can choose one of the preset themes. So I'll just kind of throw a couple here on. We can kind of do a couple examples. So it'll just reload. And this is just a temporary thing. I haven't applied that theme. So we can see what it looks like on the agency view, at least for a couple of these templates to get you started. And then once you like the theme that you've chosen, now that's the jumping point. And then we can go in here. You can see there's a couple of simple setup. So these are kind of like your top line settings that you can do for the theme. And then there's a whole bunch of advanced.
Let's start a little bit with the quick settings just so people
Yeah,
can see
sure.
exactly. They're labeled correctly. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says primary color, primary background color. So you can select the pre-made ones to kind of get a better idea. Oh, no, we could definitely see that now. That's awesome. And let's just go ahead and change one so you guys can see
Sure.
what happens as we change it.
Yeah, let me grab just so C82E22 as an example. So we can do a color picker here and then save and apply. There's also, we can change the layout of the login screen. So whenever you're making changes, that's a separate step. So if we need that, it'll regenerate the script for the login screen. We don't need to do that right now, so I can just ignore that. And then now once it reloads, you'll see that applied.
And we always have the circle of death that sometimes will happen on any kind of marketing browser, and especially when we're live. I can vouch for this.
Yeah. So you can see now the icons have changed. The primary color has changed.
I see it.
I just
Yeah.
grabbed the
Very
color
slight, but very cool.
from your
All
Zoom background right here, or from the recording background. So you can see kind of that primary, that's that primary color. So now if we come back into the theme builder and we want to modify it, we just see how this is the published one. You just choose that again. That doesn't overwrite your changes. It just pulls it back up for you to continue to modify those changes. So
yeah, let's do more of a drag. Let's do the sidebar. The sidebar is always the one that I always find the most fun because you actually see that very live.
Yeah, and we can go here. I'll grab the purple from your background now.
Oh, you have to go for the purple colors, huh? Holy smokes.
And then save.
And notice he's not applying the script. He's just directly going in there. And then we're just going to load again. You know, we're going to fast forward through a lot of these loading screens.
And then once you're here, what you can do, there's two ways you can view it in a sub account. So you can just, open the sub account really quick once you've applied those. But you could also, we made it to where the theme builder doesn't show up in the sub account. It's just one less thing for somebody to accidentally modify. We've just seen too many agency users actually do something thinking it's only going to apply to one thing and it does global changes. But you can make it to where it shows for all. But now you can see these changes, right? The red, the reddish color here, and then now with the different left menu color. So if I go back.
And now you have that purple going over the hovering bar right there. And the icons have changed. I don't know if people can realize that. Very, very cool. What I like is the login screen one. Any way we can demonstrate the login screen, Phil?
Yeah, sure. We can get that
Well,
going.
actually, you know what? I don't want to take away from that. If you want to go over some of the bottom ones there, we have the dashboard banner.
And the clean white kind of does a few changes. Let's go back to something a little bit less drastic so we can kind of see.
Techno purple. Oh, man, you're bringing me back to my club days.
Let's run Techno purple just for fun. So you can see here just right off the bat, this is a huge difference in the layout if you want it to really feel different. So there's the left or top navigation. Then dashboard banners can be added, font styles can be updated. The login page settings, this is where it'll help. Those are the settings for that other code that we can generate, and then that'll change your login screen. And then your advanced settings are here. There's a lot of stuff here in the advanced. So maybe I'll zoom in just a little bit again. I can scroll a little slowly, but this is really the core of the theme that you've chosen, all of these settings. And so we've given you as much granular detail as we can to allow you to further customize everything that you want inside of your sub account view. And then there's some other features here, multilingual nav links. And
what does that mean? What is multilingual, like meaning like languages?
I think this is a new feature. I haven't seen this one yet, actually, since the last time I looked at our theme builder. So I don't want to tell you incorrect answers. Let's see if we can get this to work here. Native navigation tab text and platform language. It will deactivate the rename replace feature for left navigation links. I'm not sure.
So we'll skip that one until we get further instructions. Sometimes what's great about the team is that they'll develop something and just like we have to usually catch up on it.
Yeah, not only HighLevel itself, but HO Pro Tools, we're pushing stuff out. I know HighLevel a while back, right, came up with the multilingual. You could change your platform.
Yeah, and I think the biggest complaint was that it changed some of the wording on some things, but not everything. So I'm wondering if that fixes that other things that it doesn't name, and probably does. But I guess you have to be in a certain language in order for that thing to work.
Yeah.
Buttons. A lot of features in there. Everything from button backgrounds to light blues, the headings, the settings area, and everything else. There's
multiple styles of buttons too. So, it's really, really, really drilled down there.
Oh, and memberships. I know that this is a big one for a lot of people. Anybody that's been in HighLevel for a while, memberships, the login screen for the memberships, when you get in the memberships and everything that you do inside there, it gets a little bit challenging because it's all done by CSS if you want heavy customization. The features here, we've used them and utilized them before. I can tell you this makes it a tad bit easier because the header image and the image title 9 times out of 10, it's always the biggest pain in the butt to change. And they make it really easy by going to the advanced settings in here in the theme builder and figuring it out there. Very, very cool.
Awesome. And then we have just a built-in, hey, you're at the bottom of our advanced list. You must be looking for something still. This goes directly to the dev team for them to
Oh, very cool.
continuously upgrading the theme builder, right? So we definitely love all that feedback. So that's built in right into the theme builder, makes it really easy for that feedback loop. Another piece here that's really fun is what we call a feature lock and hide settings. So there's a few steps to set this up, but what you're actually doing is you're creating a spreadsheet that
Oh,
you'll then
wow.
clone, and this allows you to then choose. Here, I got to make my own copy of it really quick. You know, in the SaaS configurator on HighLevel, you can of course control things, show and hide based on plan tier and that kind of stuff. The challenge with that is then, though, your clients don't see those menu items. It's show or hide. It's on or off. And so what we've done is, even though a lot of these might be similar to the SaaS mode settings you can do on a sub account, we have a few more here as well. You see the team has continued to build this out really robustly. And you can even do custom menu links. So this is a recent update from the team.
Oh, wait. So let's go a little deeper on that. So make
Sure.
believe I have like, again, I make deals with different businesses. That's how we fill ours. And we make usually like a big group of people.
Mhm.
So if I have custom links specific for a set of, let's say 30 people inside my SaaS and another set for 50 people, and I can automate this too, from my understanding, right?
Through the HLPT Zap. Yeah.
Through the HLPT Zap. So basically, if they select a certain plan or get a certain function, they can come in. And if I have this, I can automate it to see what links, colors, and themes get automatically applied. I think that's a little bit of a big one. And now let me give you guys why this is important. So again, make believe I have a deal with like 40 real estate agents, and then have another deal with 40 school systems that teach, you know, like maybe Montessori schools. I can have them both use my link and purchase under my same HighLevel white label, but I wanted having a different experience for two of those individuals to make it more comfortable for them. I can use HL Pro Tools with the HL Pro Tools Zap. That's not like showing here. We're not going to get deep into that.
Yeah.
But what I can do is, if you see the screen now, which I think is very cool, I can change the logos. I can give them a specific pre-made theme builder. The other thing that I learned that Matt told me, and I didn't know this, is that I can create my own themes. You get the standard themes, and then I can create as many themes as I want and then name them. So then if this particular client comes in and they're part of a particular organization, I now can customize based on how they come in, and it can all be automated, meaning they get whatever thing, and I kind of just stand back and let this automation do its thing. And then the person coming into the tool will have a different experience than my other people that are going into the tool for something else completely, which I think is ridiculously cool.
Yeah, I think all of that's right. I'm not 100% sure if you can automate like the theme builder setting that's custom per sub account, because that's done at the control panel here. So I just want to make sure that specific thing, I'm not 100% sure that's possible. There might be one manual step there. If it's not possible, that's a great
That's a
feature
great
request
on to
for
maybe we're
sure.
gonna use
Yeah,
HighLevel
like yeah,
suggestion.
by the time people see this video, maybe that's already it will already be live. What's really cool about the way this Google Sheet set up as far as the lockout and hide features. So this is the location ID. So that's the HLPT Zap. You know, you'll pull that in, you'll add a new row, it'll clone the previous row with the location ID of that sub account. And then based on the tier that they purchased, you know, that's all with the Zap setup, right? We don't need to get into the weeds there. You can decide, hey, am I enabling this feature? So that would be as if it's just, you know, there, it's not locked. You can disable it, which when you disable it, the menu item is still there. There's just a lock icon on it. And when they click on it, you can decide what page you want to show, which is your sales page for them to upgrade, right? So instead of
Very,
it
very
being
cool.
completely locked or hidden, how do they know what feature they want? This allows you to like almost have a built-in
Yeah,
upsell
and great for
pipeline
upgrades, right? Like a
with,
good selling opportunity for anybody that's bought like a basic or
within the
whatever.
sub account.
Great.
Exactly. So you can do enable, you could do disable, which is that like lock icon that pushes to upgrade, or hide. And so this is super cool for sure. I think that's one of the kind of hidden gems here that a lot of people miss, right?
No, absolutely. I didn't even know it existed. I've been in the system for 4 years. So
Yeah, there you go. There
cool.
you go.
And if we go back to that theme builder, if we go back over there, go into the sub account and global settings. Well, okay, so everybody understood the feature lock and hide. Again, there's a separate sheet. You can use HL Pro Tools to automate a lot of that, which makes it really easy. And I keep mentioning the HL Pro Tools Zap. So what Matt and Graham did, and like that whole HL Pro Tools team, is they created a Zap that basically really connects to the API that gives you a lot more customization and automation on top of the SaaS configurator. So meaning, and I'm talking a bunch of gibberish for people that are not really understanding what this means, meaning if there's something that HighLevel doesn't initially do, for instance, make believe inside your system you have 15 different snapshots maybe want to offer to your customers. Well, right as of now, you can't really select the snapshot and have it automatically load. You would have to like load it in manually and everything else. Well, I've
Right.
done this plenty of times already in the last 3 years. What you can create if you have HL Pro Tools and the Zap is that somebody fills out a form and the form can connect to Zapier in this HL Pro Tools Zap that's again for HL Pro 2 customers. And then you can automatically load whatever snapshot they pick. So you can basically have an internal snapshot store that automatically preloads like the snapshots into there without you really having to go in and doing it manually. So take that into account and then add these hide and lock features. I purchased the account. The second I purchase, I can send and single back to my HL Pro Tools app, and then I can have this thing hide and lock features or disable features like Phil is mentioning, which again gives that really good user customized experience and gives you the additional ability of making money. So just want to make sure, because we keep mentioning that HL Pro Tools app, it's very good. I've been using it for years. And before we had SaaS Configurator, it was the go-to Zap because HighLevel didn't automatically create user accounts. We would have to do that manually. So every account that we had to manually load it, manually load the snapshot in, write it all in. I mean, it was kind of cumbersome. Obviously, the SaaS Configurator came along. And even though the SaaS Configurator came along, like we have our own snapshot store. So the second somebody buys our snapshot store, inside of our system, we can immediately go in and do it and be done with it.
Yeah, I think that was the original kind of like push for that Zap, for the HLPT Zap app, right? Was for that automated creating accounts. Another trick that you can do is not everybody likes that original welcome email that goes out from the system by default. So, we have trainings as well in our membership area, how to set up your own unique welcome email.
Oh, very, very cool.
So that way you're bypassing that. There's a lot of those types of things. To piggyback on what you're saying, right now, if you did have, let's say you had 8 different snapshots, right? But your main account really is one main snapshot, but this pricing option or this thing that you're selling, this offer you're selling has 4 plus this one thing on top of it. To do that with the built-in tools, you'd have to make all of those individual variations of the SaaS pricing options, right? In the SaaS configurator, because it can only load one snapshot at a time, right? So that's definitely like a huge hidden gem for sure of that HLPT Zap app is whatever variation that you want to sell. And you can really think more modularly around your snapshots, right? Because I know, Nuno, you and I have talked a lot about like, you don't want to confuse people. Only give them the minimum that they need to be successful.
It's like my preaching. I preach this all the time. And everybody, I'm not going crazy. I really do preach this all the time. Make it simple.
I think that speaks to that particular thing is like, hey, if you're selling this specific outcome based on a snapshot you've built, now you can have individual strategies that you sell, but you don't have to deal with all of the management of all of those different SaaS configurators, all those different pricing options, all those different order forms. You can customize it still on the sub account, on your agency sub account. So when they purchase that product, then you can use that to trigger the Zap and then automatically load as many snapshots onto a sub account as you want to. So super cool.
Very, very cool. And then one more thing, like the sub account and global settings. What is that about?
Yeah, so you can do some global settings, hide certain things, reorder certain things, hide side menu links, theme styles per sub accounts. We replaced this with a control panel. You can kind of do it in both places. We recommend the control panel now for this last one. And then this top
and let's just cover that control panel real quick though, because I think we kind of like scaled a little bit on it.
Sure. Yeah, we can jump back there.
So when you install the theme builder, control panel gets added. And if you go to the left-hand side and you see on the screen, it'll look like this when you guys add this. And I don't know, because we kind of passed on this a little bit. This is where you can individually set the themes for, said business. You can change the logos. So on the top right-hand side, you can actually change the logo on the top left-hand side menu. So again, you can make it very customized. Maybe if you have like franchisees that you're working with, and you can make it where the franchisee's image shows there versus like your logo for your SaaS, which sounds corny, but believe it or not, people really do enjoy that. And then they're like, oh, okay, it's definitely my account. I know what I'm part of. And you can, again, hide the automatic things. Like if you were, let's say, getting HL Pro Tools as a service and you only want people that pay a certain amount to get 24/7 support, you can turn on the live chat widget and you can say, okay, well, these people don't get it because they're this account, or they don't get the live tours, or they get the live tours or anything else. So you can go pretty heavily on this. The one question I have when it comes to this is, what's the advanced?
Is it advanced here?
Yeah, yeah.
I also don't know the answer to that question.
I know, it's like the hidden mystery.
It looks to be the same API key as well
So
here.
maybe if it's like the API key just to get the connection there, I guess.
Yeah, we've hit the limit of my knowledge on this piece. I've also
I don't
learned
think I think
this.
it's like a secret because maybe if we ask Matt, he'll know, but
Yeah,
we
Matt will definitely know.
so we'll skip that one there. But so with all that being said, and again, this is part of every level of HL Pro Tools.
Yeah.
There are multiple levels depending on what kind of service you need for your clients. Also, HL Pro Tools does a really good job. They try not to sell you what you don't need. They really only want to sell you what you do need. So if you're just starting out, you got 5 or 10, you really don't need like, live support or anything else. You might if you're really that busy and you just kind of want to pass it off. Again, we waited until we grew to about like 25. I think that's when we got a little bit unruly and we're like,
Yeah.
all right, we really need 24/7 support.
Yeah.
And then what's great about HL Pro Tools is we grew with HL Pro Tools. We started at the base plan. We went to the next level. And then I think we're on the third level now. We're probably one away from probably, I think, 100 clients away from the max tier that you can get, which is amazing. And again, for anybody that's watching the videos, we did an interview with Matt and he talks about, all the different plans that are there. But what's
Right.
important here is that part of the base program, totally customize and give a great feel to your overall white label, high level experience. You can move things around so it's more about you and what you're trying to offer to your clients. You can limit what your client sees. You get a control panel that you can control everything from the widget that goes on the left to everything on the right. As you can see, and Phil's been messing around. He's been changing them as we're talking. It is really that simple if you use some of the pre-configured ones. But again, create a very great experience for your customers. And the base programs comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. If you want to see what that's all about, check out the previous video that we did with HL Pro Tools, where they go over all the cool base things that you get automatically inside your program. But again, it is pretty amazing. And this is probably one of the coolest tools I've seen in a long time. So Phil, based on everything that we've kind of shown today, any other kind of like little tidbits or anything else that you would say on the kind of like the overall theme builder?
Yeah, I mean, it really is just that continuity of branding, I think, right, is nice to kind of bring into your high level. I think it also adds a level of consistent trust, right?
Absolutely.
Because I know a lot of times it just feels so different, right? It's like, here's the standard GHL, or when you go in there, if you're paying somebody or you're doing some other custom thing, now you're manually managing a bunch of CSS. It can just be really challenging. I've seen a lot of people, there's so many levels of it, right? Where when you just grab one thing, you think that works, then you get somewhere deep into it, a sub account, and you're like, where'd this button go? And it's like, well, actually, it's just because the colors now are white on white when you didn't mean to do that accidentally, right? So it just really makes that customization piece so much easier. And then to manage, at scale across all your sub accounts is super, super cool.
Yeah. So for anybody interested, again, HL Pro Tools, you'll find the link right at the bottom. We also have a nice little barcode that you can get and you can scan up there. Again, if you're planning on running an agency, if you're starting to get a lot of sub accounts, HL Pro Tools is where to go. We've been a customer for over 4 years. Couldn't be happier. We've been growing with them. And there's a lot of other additional extra features. Like I think there's 7 office hours from everything from design to building to marketing and tech to even a call solely dedicated to take advantage of all the tools you get with HL Pro Tools. We showed you one out of very, very many that are in there. You get a very established area like members area, and you get a great team that does support all of your clients, and you get your own agency support on top of all that. With the sheer focus of helping you grow. I know, again, I had Matt on. If you haven't watched that interview, please go check it out. It's the next video in queue. And I can tell you that Matt is incredibly committed to watching you grow and building your white label out. Because again, as they grow, so does HL Pro Tools. So it's a very selfish and giving at the same time. And it's great. Like I said, I've been a happy customer. Anything that we always recommend on this program, like I mentioned before, dozens of times, we use ourselves. And I can say happily that I've been using this particular version of HL Pro Tools for the last 4 years, and I couldn't be happier. Phil, I want to thank you so much for coming on this call. I completely appreciate you doing that and kind of giving us an inside look. And Phil will be back because, again, we only did one feature, and I can tell you there is a whole lot more to HL Pro Tools, even at the base level, that we want to kind of dive into. So thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.